stigma around gulls is that they eat trash all day. Everything that I've been looking at since 2011 so far suggests that that stigma could not possibly be any more incorrect.
Dr. Noah Perlit is a professor at the University of New England, and he's an expert in herring gulls. We typically call them seagulls. The doctor spends a lot of time on rooftops studying seagulls, so he sees what they eat pretty regularly and examines their waste as well. In fact, he says gulls consume, for the most part, good stuff. We're talking fish, crab, shrimp, insects, and the invasive green crab. He says that seagulls are moving to cities because city roofs, unlike rocky shores and islands, provide protection from predators.
Can a seagull drive an Uber? No. But the gull can look at our resources and take advantage of our resources. You know, that's clear observation and learned behavior. It's pretty smart.
All I know is they make a mess of my car in the parking lot.
Yeah, and as for driving an Uber, I feel like if you put them in a self-driving car,
then you have the option to do that.
Right.
Look at you connecting the dots.
You know?
Well, by the way, there's a reason we bring this up. Dr. Perlet is one of a handful of Mainers and organizations being recognized now by the group Ecomaine. Ecomaine manages recycling and sustainable waste programs across southern, western, and central Maine.
Yeah, they announced their Eco Excellence Awards today, and Dr. Perlet is being recognized for his commitment to land and resources and the boards and commissions he sits on. Among the dozen honorees are 4 other people, 3 businesses, a nonprofit, and 3 school systems. One of the other individuals named is now enjoying his retirement.
Yeah, for decades, Jeff Tarling was Portland's arborist. In January, we spoke with him. He spoke with our David Guilford about the mark he's made.
Jeff Tarling has walked these woods 1,000 times. Take a walk with him, and you'll fall in love with nature as he has.
My thought was, if we can keep the forest healthy, it'll be around for another generation.
People came out every night.
Tarling has been Portland's city arborist since 1989.
Something like 50 or 60 trees. In the next few years, it would probably have to come down.
Come February, he's hanging up his hard hat.
In your mind, you could just keep going forever, but that's not always the case.
He's certainly left his mark.
Evergreen Woods is a really good example of the active habitat management and forest management that Jeff Tarling has been leading for decades here at the city.
Eric Topper from Maine Audubon brought us to Evergreen Woods.
Behind it, all of this.
In 2015, Tarling convinced uneasy tree lovers the best thing for this 100-acre forest was to bring in machinery to remove some invasive plant life to let the native life thrive.
It was a risk. The easy thing sometimes is to do nothing.
This is more than just a job to him. I think he sees it as his calling.
Parks Director Ethan Hipple thinks Tarling's helped plant nearly 6,000 trees across Portland. He's preserved precious green spaces among the city's concrete, erected 34 city Christmas trees, and created where others only saw a hill.
That was Jeff's idea. One of only 3 in the country, an urban terrain park.
Portland has long been called the Forest City. Jeff Tarling dedicated his life to live up to the name. Now it's someone else's turn.
One of the first calls I ever had in Portland, they heard I was hired and said, "Are you going to save the Forest City?" And I said, I sure hope so. And passing this on to the next generation is basically what I've done. And, you know, I think I've left it in pretty good hands.
So he'll keep walking in the woods, ready to introduce others to nature.
There's a real connection, real human connection between trees and forests and people.
In Portland, David Guilford, News Center, Maine.
And a big thanks again to you, Jeff, for all you did for the city.
Yeah, and congrats to all the honorees.